So today, lads, we are going to be talking about something that I'm so damn late to talk about. This was from a Brick Center tweet. I was in Ellen Road. Or Jesus, what am I talking about? Ellen Road. I was in Lansdowne Road, or what's it called? The Aviva Stadium now. May as well have been Ellen Road. All Leeds fans. All Leeds fans. What a freaking game. 51,000 Leeds, almost entirely Leeds fans in Dublin, in a different country to watch. And yeah, this tweet came out right at the start of that game. I saw it at halftime and I just got home. But I want to talk about it. And I hope, I mean this when I say this, like, I hope that there's more to it than this, because this is kind of crazy. Where it's like, let's just take a look at this video right here. Fever fans, y'all wild, honestly. And what they're having is Caitlin Clark's on a USA flag. And above where the players come out. Can you see any problem with that? No. Let's be honest, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. And I don't know, maybe as an Irish man, I don't understand the implications of this, but like, I'm sorry, I don't think there's any negative, like, implications. I don't think there should be any real negative implications to a player being on a flag of the country they're from. And then you can see it looks like they're getting it taken off them, or they're being kicked out. That's what it looks like. And I hope that that's not the case. I hope the fans did something. Flags and banners cannot exceed a certain size. Offside is 11 by 17 inches. NBA rules. Large flags are not allowed, especially if they're attached to rigid pole or a stick. Get over them as the WNBA literally were like okay with the Paige flag. And that is my whole problem with it. Like, I don't care if it turns out that they broke a rule. If it turns out that the fans broke a rule, and I would say, I am absolutely hoping. I am hoping that it's a case that the fans pissed off the security guard. Being like, can somebody explain why? I don't want to sit behind blocking my view with your flag. That can't even be a reason, because they're over the tunnel. There's nobody's view is being blocked by this flag. Zero people's view is being blocked by this flag. They're holding it out in front of them with nobody in front. Like, any of the arguments people are trying to give don't check out. Like, for me, it's like they want to alienate fans. It's a rule in the NBA as well. And that's the thing where it's like, there are players that it's fine with. They'll post it about a flag. And look, I don't even know the way the flags are. If it turns out that the stewards and security were 100% in the right in this scenario, then they just messed up in this one and the WNBA are posting it. Then you could say there's a level of hypocrisy because, people saw the Paige Bueckers flag and decided to do it with Caitlin. And that's a weird thing where it's like, I just don't know. I just don't know with this entire situation what is allowed and what isn't allowed. Why there's one rule for one player, for some players, another rule for other players. Apparently someone at the Wings game in Barclays got their Paige flags confiscated, so you don't understand. Propping up something on Twitter, on their Twitter account, that isn't allowed in arena sounds on brand for Cathy's League. Like, this might just be a dumb post by the WNBA. Like, I actually believe this. Someone got a flag confiscated. First of all, I don't know. I'm a big believer of flags as long as they're not getting in people's way. I'm a big believer in flags. And to be honest, I'm just a big believer in flags in general. I think crowds. I think Valhalla, Golden State Valkyries is as good a crowd as you're going to get in the WNBA. I don't think it's a good crowd in general. I don't think in general that's a good crowd in general sports. Is this the same arena? Never mind it me giving them a legit reason to remove. Like, I don't know if it's the same arena, but like, look, I don't really care. It's just, it should just be a case where rules should be enforced equally. And I don't like, look, the reality is that I would not be surprised if it comes out that these fans were just told to give up their flag, and if they got ejected, it was because they said no and probably said something to a security guard. Like, if that happened, it is what it is. It is what it is. Still, I think it's a bullshit rule when the flags aren't getting in people's way. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's a Caitlin Clark flag, so we're going to get rid of her. I just don't know. I just don't know what there was to be gained by this. And like all of this. And by the way, this original thing being like y'all wild face palm. What's wild about this? What's wild about this? And the scary thing is, like, you can tell by people's responses that they have a negative connotation towards the American flag when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And then it's not in this because obviously they believe Paige is with their morals and Caitlin isn't. And the reality is that, like, look, I couldn't give a flying fuck what anyone's political leaning is. I couldn't give a flying fuck about a lot of things with players that people want to put people against each other or hype up a player because of where they're from or other factors that have nothing to do with basketball. I couldn't give a damn about any of that. But let's be completely honest. If we're talking about like where they lean based on everything, Caitlin and Paige is the exact same. So if you're going to put a negative connotation towards the American flag of Caitlin because apparently that's supposed to be a knock on Caitlin, like I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to just think of a logic for why. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Like, it could be a flag of anything. It could be a flag of anything, and it doesn't matter. It's Caitlin Clark. These people have just decided they hate Caitlin. For any reason? No, they've just decided they hate Caitlin. I think that's just something they have fully just decided that Caitlin Clark is fair game to go after. So anyway, yeah, that is a video. Look, I hope that it turns out that, and I think there's a chance that it turns out they got into a huge fight. They got into a big fight with obviously there's the Paige flag. They got into a big fight with the security guards, or maybe it is a rule and, you know, the WNBA didn't realize it. They didn't realize it when they when they posted the Paige Bueckers flag. But like, look, at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on. I don't think this is a bad look necessarily because, again, rules are rules and it could very well be a rule. I just think the selective enforcement of rules, especially when it is a selective enforcement in a way that if it's a Caitlin flag, it's an issue. If it's a Paige flag, that it isn't. It gives the people, even if it's not a case and it's just security guards, one day they decide to enforce it, the other day decide not to. It could literally be that. But a lot of fans do think there is preferential treatment given towards Paige Bueckers over Caitlin Clark, and if nothing else, it like emboldens that take. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.